Alrighty. Hello, everybody. This is episode 41 of Shoot the Breeze, a chill interview and a chill time all around for you and me. I am your host, HeavyDivider, and alongside me will soon to drop in.
Whoa, hey, how's it going?
Soon to drop in on hand is the lovable, fun BaboCloud, or we call him Babo for short. How you been, Babo? And what's going on?
I'm okay. I've just been burping and chilling.
Yep, that's the life, isn't it? You know,
The usual.
the usual life on hand here, burping and chilling. So let's go ahead and get started right away with the first question. How the hell did we meet?
So it was maybe a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years. Not sure. But it was with Bim and Cece and everybody in beer pong.
Yep, on
Beer pong.
Friday and Saturdays.
Yeah, that's when I used to drink on here. I can't do that anymore. I'm too old.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I only drank on special occasions for the most part. But yeah, that was during that time where we all gathered up for beer pong, and then we actually started looking at different worlds. And then I remember one time we all gathered together to watch JoJo Bizarre Adventure Part 3 in a rabbit.
Yeah, and I was drunk as hell.
I remember some of the comments on hand. I just couldn't remember what they were titled to, but I think it was all titled to like Jotaro for what he was doing. So.
Oh yeah, it was like anytime he said something in English, we had to take a shot, or
Yeah.
if somebody was just screaming for no reason, it was great.
Yeah, I was mostly like moderator and just like photographer there, just taking random pictures for whatever we see. So. But yeah, that was good times. Good times all around. So. But let me go in and get your VRChat origins. How exactly did you get on VRC, or what brought you to the VRC?
This is really embarrassing. So I found VRChat through YouTube, and it was like Nuts and Chips and all them, and I was like, they're so cool. I want to be like them. I want to meet them. I just really, as soon as I saw that on YouTube, I was like, I have to get into VR. And like 6 months later, I got my headset and jumped right in, and it was crazy. It made me sick for like the first week.
Yeah.
I was motion sick all the time. But yeah, it was like late 2018, I think, when I got in it.
Okay, late 2018, because I do remember at that time, or so like early 2018, where basically VRC was rising on Twitch, and at that time or so, that's when RP was starting to happen, like close to almost mid-year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I was watching all the Chips and Nuts RP, and they were so funny to me, and I was like, I want to do this. So now, here I am.
Well, there you go. I was gonna say, it's funny you mentioned that, because it was at that time where the lines between reality and RP was actually very blurred, where you didn't actually know if this was true or not, or at certain points where you just thought it was like it was actually happening. Like, it was kind of like one of those first, like, blurred kind of RPs, or so. Some of those nowadays is kind of like, it's kind of rare to see to happen, just because you can easily tell it's an RP just based on how it's prompt to or everything. You can't find anything too realistic, but I don't know, maybe in time there might be somewhere where basically it blurs the lines a little bit, where you assume something's like really happening even though it's not there, the illusion of it. So
I remember like when I first got into VRChat, I tried to RP a little bit, and it was the group was really weird, and a person actually thought that like we were dating, like in real life, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, bud.
Yeah.
We didn't say all that.
yeah, it's that weird blurred line again, where basically sometimes people take RP to a serious point where they mixed it together with reality. Like, I've seen that happen in VR High, or certain points where basically things become way too real, or they just don't separate from, two different things. So it's kind of like that tread of the line on hand. But overall, or sake, it's at least it's fun to just to mess around with and just be able to, tell stories here and there. So, but let me ask you about your hobbies on hand. Now, I put a few things down being, I had VR, I put down Phasmophobia because I have caught you so many times playing that on hand, which I assume you love playing it.
Yeah.
And I also put different multiplayer
games.
I also put down different multiplayer games, but what are the games that you enjoy, or what kind of hobbies do you have besides outside of gaming in general?
Well, the games that I'm playing right now, well, the one game I'm like obsessed with right now, and I think everybody knows, is Genshin Impact, because everybody in that game is too fine, except for the children. Get away from me, children. But the men's and the women's, whoo, they do be fine. But yeah, like that was like the first MMO-ish game I've played, like open world like that. So I'm really enjoying it. But like Phasmophobia, like you said, is totally my favorite. I like getting scared. I get super scared. So it's fun to like piss my pants and make people laugh. But other than that, like I love singing. I know I don't ever do it very much, but like I like opera singing. Imagine me opera singing.
I can imagine. On hand. I'm surprised that isn't like a, I'm surprised you don't have like an avatar outfit where it's basically like you dressed up like an opera singer while you begin to like perform like notes or so here and there.
Oh my god, I would want to be the Phantom of the Opera.
That'd be good for a Halloween costume.
Come true.
That'd be good.
Yes! You're onto something.
There you go. Good for a Halloween costume on hand. And I was gonna say, out of curiosity, with Phasmophobia, what gets you more? Is it the jump scares or is it the atmosphere that sinks in first, then the jump scares?
It's just everything all around. It just feels so heavy as soon as you walk in, and then things just like the other day I was playing it and I literally just walked into a room, turned around, and the ghost said, "Hey," like right in my ear, and I just zipped out of there. I said, "Fuck no, baby."
Definitely.
But I love it. I'm like, I'm sweaty. I want to vomit. Let's do it again.
The thrill ride of just basically knowing the fact that there could be somebody around the corner looking at you when you least expect it.
Oh yeah, every time I die, I feel like I'm actually going to die.
Oh, damn. Jeez.
If it's in VR, I play mostly on desktop, but if it's in VR, I'm literally like trying to hide in a corner.
Most of the times if it's in VR, I just basically, I like to mess around in it. Like, even if we found the ghost and everything, I mess around it by just stealing a bunch of stuff out of the house as compensation to the fact that we're risking our lives just to find a ghost.
Mine.
You don't need these Chuck Taylors. I'm taking these with me.
Yeah, the ghost won't mind.
What are you talking about? They have no feet. They're gonna be wearing those for the time being. But
exactly.
But let me go ahead and ask you about the VRChat scene at this moment, at this present time on hand. What is your current opinion about VRChat right now? Because I know everybody's got like a different opinion depending on what it is at the moment, especially with how things are going at this time. But what do you mostly think?
You know, I'm not really big in the scene anymore, so I'm not really sure like everything that's going on, but it seems pretty chill. It's not as well. From what I do in here, it's not as chaotic. It used to be always everybody super fucking drunk, they don't remember what they said, or somebody's crying, and all this hoopla. Now I come in and I pretty much just chill, or like find a horror map or whatever. I don't do the drama. You know?
No, I understand. And which is fine, because hey, you don't need nobody needs any kind of drama in their life or so, especially with how much things can happen here and there. Especially when it's like one small thing. Yep. Treat it as an escape and just basically treat it as something that you can at least get away from here and there. Speaking of which, now that I think about it, you seem to be very good into horror for the most part. Now that I think about it. Like, where did that all start?
I love it. I don't listen, when I was growing up, I was scared of everything. I watched Pet Sematary and Cujo as a child, like a 4 or 5, and it literally scarred me. I used to be scared of everything, and then one day it was just like, I'm not scared anymore. I know it's fake. It's just scary in the moment. So I'm like freaking out and like, but it's the adrenaline that keeps me coming back, you know?
That kick.
I'm like, I could do anything. Yeah.
Just that kick. No, I feel you. I feel you on hand, especially when it's just like, especially if it's like a fear of yours. Like, you want to conquer it, but you know, in order to get that, or so you got to get that adrenaline rush just to be able to look it dead in the eyes and be like, you know, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Especially as it keeps coming back for more and more, just to break off that illusion of what you think is scary of it. So.
Oh, yeah.
So.
When I played Little Nightmares, I played the first and second, but I played the second one first. Don't sue me.
No, you're fine.
But I was like, there's a part that you have to be in a hospital, and there's like mannequins, and they like chase you unless you have a flashlight on them. But they come from all angles. There's like, at one time, there's like a swarm, and I literally was just trying to run through. I kept dying, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this. I'm so scared, but I did it, and I'm so proud of myself.
There you go. There you go. Like I know the feeling. Especially when it's like games that you know are like extra hard, but you feel more fulfilled once you beat them on hand. Like Dark Souls, for example. Like, I've never played Dark Souls. I've heard stories about it. I'm glad I was able to at least beat it, even if it meant cheesing my way through by just soul grinding, just so I could be like one leg up, which is kind of the thing I have. If you give me a level up system, I'm probably gonna abuse it where I'm max level, just so I can beat the entire game. So, but yeah, it's kind of like just doing that.
Overachiever.
More like a cautionary achiever. I like to be very cautious of everything.
Yeah.
I like to be cautious more than anything else, especially when dealing with something that I know I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked. But if I'm like 10 levels above it, I'm pretty sure at least I can kick its ass or get past it as best I can. So.
Yeah.
But
I can't do Dark Souls.
I mean, it's also muscle memory. Once you kind of figure out the patterns on hand, you can easily sail right through it. That's what I've learned. Just memorize. But let me ask about the party scene on hand. Now, I know for a fact that you've been in quite a lot of different parties on hand. Like places you've been to. I've never been to for most of them because I'm not much of a party person since I like to be laid back and chill. But I know you've been to like places like what is it? I know one of them's Neko Nights. The one's Neko Nights, and I know there was like different other places here and there for the most part. But how is it, party scene wise, where everybody's got like their different kind of like chemistry or just like different kind of like flow of how they do things? How is that for you?
I notice that there's usually cliques. You can always find certain people with a certain group of people, but for the most part, everybody is pretty sociable. Well, nowadays, especially if I go in and like I go and see Landfear or whatever, I don't drink anymore. But I'm chilling, so I'm jumping group to group to group to group to group to group, and just talking to everybody. And by the end of the night, I usually can corral everybody together at least, and so we can all chill. But there's so many people that are like in full body, just like passed out, snoring because they drank from like noon to midnight. I'm like, y'all are crazy.
Oh yeah, especially when it's like the whole shot game where it's almost like just a game of keep up, to where you can easily just find like more people just laying all over the ground just because they attempt to try to keep up with everybody even though they didn't take their time with it. Or people were already prepped up before this just to watch the carnage of like as many people as you can find just sprawled out all over the place.
It's great. There was one time I showed up to this one place. I was with CC, and as soon as I entered this world, it was like a beach. This guy was literally just passed out on the beach, and his avatar had red bloodshot eyes, and he was snoring. It was my favorite thing in the world. I took so many pictures with him, and everybody was like, leave him alone! I was like, I'm not doing anything! I'm admiring this piece of art!
Look at this aesthetic right here. Like, you can never find... This is one of a kind of aesthetic. You can never find anything like this.
This has to be here. Landmark it. It's great. Yeah, the party scene in VRChat is crazier than any parties I've been to in, like, real life. They go hard, so... Yeah.
It's ridiculous how to see that. I mean, it's kind of funny how you think about it. Like, you find people who go harder here than they would go in real life. I think it's just based on the people they can relate to more than times than they can find, like, outside of, like, VRC, like in IRL, like at a bar or so, or like at some house party or so you can find down the block.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what I've learned in my experience, whenever I drink in VR, I can't really see how much I am drinking, and I end up overdoing it because I'm like, yeah, I could keep going, and then I take off my headset at the end of the night, and I'm like, why do I feel like trash? And then half the bottle's gone. I'm like, oh, okay, better not do that again.
Yeah, better be careful with that.
I'm dead for like the next 2 days.
Jeez. Yeah, best be careful with that, because I honestly feel like that can easily be abused, especially when it's just like, you know, you're feeling the energy around you and everything, of like everybody around you, and sometimes you might not even realize how much you're doing this until that time comes.
Oh yeah, for sure. And people can get really, really hurt or dehydrated, or like, you know, if they're passed out and vomiting, they could drown on their vomit. It's a scary thing. Y'all, be careful drinking in VR.
Yeah. Yeah, be very careful no matter what. And, I will ask about your old VRC memories. Like, when you think about it, like, in VRC in general, like, when you kind of close your mind and just think of, like, what represents VRC for you in general, like, memory-wise or so, what pops to your mind?
I don't know. I guess mirrors.
Mirrors.
Everybody's chilling in front of mirrors. I'm the one that's like always trying to get people to get up and dance or something, but most of the time I walk in and people are just, you know, cuddling up with each other in front of a mirror talking, which is fine, but I'm like, I want to go do something.
You want to go explore,
But,
you want to...
yeah, at the beginning.
So?
Yeah, for sure. But at the beginning, I was very much like, oh my god, this is amazing, and I just went with the flow with everything. And do you remember when I was a shark?
Yeah, I remember. I remember when you were a shark before you became a bat. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, and big old jiggly boobies, and I didn't like it, but my model maker did everything for me for free. So I wasn't gonna be like, no, because we were both sharks, and he was like, whatever I make, I'll make it a different color for you, and I was like, sweet. But it was always big jiggly boobies. I was tall. It really wasn't my aesthetic. And then as soon as I changed into this, I felt like
I'm pretty sure that was Peachy, was it? Or am I thinking of somebody else that might have did that?
No, Peachy came after the OGs. The OG that made my shark avatar and the first shark avatar I saw in VRChat, his name was Beninator. He wasn't a streamer or anything. He was just a really good friend. And then he passed on a lot of assets to Peachy, and then Peachy exploded with the shark community.
That's when the whole shark cult. I remember that whole shark culture was happening on hand. I just kept like looking left or right to see like everybody has a shark model on hand. It's like, where did this come from all of a sudden? Like just popped up.
Sharks are kind of hot. Sharp teeth, you know.
That's a very anime aesthetic when you think about it, like just sharp teeth in general. So.
Oh, I love it. If you have sharp teeth, just smile at me all day. I'll be so happy.
Good God. Oh, boy. Yeah, all good. It's all good. Let me see here really quickly. I will say, let's talk about a little bit of different topics on hand. Now, I mentioned about the current present VRC in general, but I will say, from your time with VRC, like from the first day of it, all the way over to where we are now. So what are some of the things you're glad that they changed over to some of the things you wish they didn't change at all? Like, it could be security, it could be like trends, it could be like anything in general that represents VRC for you in general.
Yeah, I really like that now when you send a request to join off somebody, you can put a message with it. And so it's not like just a random like, hey, I need to talk to you about something real quick, or whatever, if it's important. One thing I don't like about what changed, I don't really like the new name tags. I get pooped on a lot for not having VRChat Plus and having like a profile picture.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, why does that matter?
I don't understand why that matters either.
It's
just
like, and it was like the same thing with the trusted user. Like once we got all those things, until I got a trusted user, people would just poop on me for no reason. I was like, I'm just chilling. Why does it matter what color my name is?
Yeah, I don't know why that is, really, to be honest. It's just mostly because, like, it's a nameplate. There's no value behind, like, what someone's nameplate is or basically what color it is for the most part. Like, it doesn't really increase what kind of human being you are for the most part. So I never really understood that. Especially, worst part about it is the fact that during that time with the colored nameplates or so, it created a whole like divide in the community where basically if you were even green, let alone like just getting started in VRC or so, you might as well be considered like in no man's land because for some reason purple users won't even want to get near you just because of the fact they have no idea if you're a good person, or you might be a troll just coming in just to mess around because of that whole trend with VRC, where the more popular you get, the more it brought in some interesting people to basically mess around and do stuff. And yeah, I don't know why this is happening either. Like people just basically like, if you're not subscribed to like VRC or so, then it's like, oh, you know, you don't support the community in general. It's like, why dictate that? You know, people just come in just
I've been supporting this community forever now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I love this stuff. I might not be as like into it as I used to be because, you know, I do have like other stuff I have to do IRL and all that.
Yeah.
But anytime I get in here, it's great until somebody wants to like dictate how I play. Oh, you should pay this. You should do that. I'm like, can I just live, please?
Yeah, just live in your own.
Yeah.
Live the world you want to make.
That's one of the things that grinds my gears.
I know, just just live the world you want to make or so. And plus, put it this way, whoever dictates you or so, I guarantee you've been here longer than they have, so really they have no authority over you by any means since you're a veteran. So.
Yeah. But whatever, I usually just kind of say, you smell, and just walk away.
Yep, that works. Works on hand. So, let me, anything you looking forward towards, like maybe like VRC or like anything in general that'll be coming your way?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to save up to get a new headset because I have the like OG HTC Vive. It's falling apart.
I see.
So if I could get another like maybe an Index, which is like shooting high, I feel like that would be, that would be crazy. But I don't know. I'm wanting to get more back into this community as well. The few times I have streamed it, which I always told everybody I would never stream this game, but the few times I have, it's been a lot of fun, and like chat usually likes it, and so I gotta get back into it, like deep into it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing too of like VRC in general is just the fact that everybody's gonna have a different community no matter what it is or so, and sometimes you garnish like some people that you can easily relate to no matter on hand or so. And the thing is too is like it's one of those few games out there that you can easily meet people or so. Like there's other VRC games out there that are coming up or so, you know, like Neos VR as well as just like Chill Out VR. But when it comes to like the standard norm for everybody in general, like especially like VR users or so, or people who basically got a chance to meet everybody around the world, it's kind of like this is the game to go to at certain points.
Yeah.
And
I'm thankful for this game for that, because I have met so many people from so many different places, and my heart is so full. I have so many great friends because of the place.
Definitely. It's really nice. Really nice in general, and also just be able to find people you can relate to, even no matter how far away they are. Which sucks too, now that I think about it. It's like the farther away they are, the more likely you connect to them better. Even though they're like maybe across the continent on hand or just like a few states over. So.
One thing I think is really cool, sometimes, because you don't really ask somebody where they're from, like right off the bat in VR. We don't really care. It's a virtual world. But sometimes when the topic does come up, like, hey, where are you from or whatever, 3 times now. I know that's not a lot, but it still blows my mind because a lot of people play this game. 3 times I've met people that live in my state, in my city, and I'm like, whoa, what? How? How do you exist?
It's like small world, completely small world on hand.
It really is.
And
it's insane.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And hopefully when this COVID thing ends and everything, pandemic goes, we can finally be able to meet up once again or so. Just like be it like a TwitchCon, PAX South, PAX East, wherever it is, just to be able to see everybody.
I need it so bad. I was heartbroken about TwitchCon last year, but I mean, we all understood because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But God, I wanted to see my friends and cuddle so bad. But it's alright, we can do it in here.
Well, hey, at least it brings everybody close together, you know. Close together no matter how far away once again. And I will ask, since you mentioned TwitchCon, how was TwitchCon 2019? If I can ask.
Oh!
I was there.
Amazing! I had never been to a con so big. And it was really cool because I actually didn't have tickets to the con. It was sold out. I bought my plane tickets too late and all that. I planned way too late. But it was like as soon as I walked up to the little grounds where everybody like met up the first day, somebody screamed my name and I looked and I got picked up and thrown in the middle of a crowd of people and everybody was just like, Bobo! I'm like, how does everybody know it's me? I don't even have a name tag. But it was amazing. Drumsy was there and I saw him in the park and I didn't want to say anything because, you know, he's bigger. But we are like mutuals. I just didn't want to bother him. And he looks over at me and goes, that's that baddie bitch. And I thought I was going to die. I was like, how are people recognizing me?
You.
Yeah, I was like, dead. It was great. And all the parties were lit. I remember leaving the Kinetic party and Cece was on the floor drunk as hell off of Four Locos.
Yeah.
And everybody else was having like a dance off I got so sweaty that night.
I remember because I was at the Kinetic party on hand, and I bumped into you briefly on hand because I think we only talked to him a little bit, and then basically we went our ways or something because we were trying to see I think at that time we were trying to see everybody, get to see everybody we seen on Twitter or just like VRC. Then we got a chance to see real life, and I got a chance to basically see a little bit of everybody on hand. I even got a chance to basically get a giant hug from Shinakami too. Great guy.
Aww, I love him. He's such a sweetheart.
He is. And besides that too, there was like a dance off. I think at one point there was actually a dance raid. Not dance raid of people who came in and just basically started breakdancing too. Like I remember that.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Oh man, I don't dance, but I was like, all right, let's get it. I was busting a move. But it was like as soon as I walked in, Spooky was at the door waiting for me with this white claw, like this big. It was bigger than my head and was like, let's go, bitch. I said, all right, let's go.
And then there was that, and then for some reason, too, I remember there was like this beer pong session that was happening on hand. I can't remember who was on Spooky's side, but I remember there was Nags and Veronica J on the other side. And basically, one of them, I don't remember who, I think it might have been Nags, accidentally picked up a cup of Jägermeister after one of the balls went into it, and just basically chugged that thing down. Like, past that and
Nags is insane.
No, he's really composed.
I remember I know, but he is a machine. I remember when I was in Texas for PAX South, and he came to hang out at the Airbnb. It was like, I was staying with Emia and, Falcona and Chips and everybody. And so it was like Chips and Nags on one side, and then it was like two younger guys on the other side. And Nags and Chips beat their ass. I was like, let's go, old people represent! Because, I'm like their age.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
It was so much fun, though.
Yeah.
I remember everybody was like falling downstairs and stuff. I was the house mom. I did all the dishes, all the cleaning, made sure everybody was okay, helped them if they were throwing up, got them water. Everybody called me mom on that trip. That was great.
Good. And I'm pretty sure that's where the whole Mama... You know what's weird? It's like there's so many people on VRC that go by the name of Mama. Like Mama Barrel, Mama Mercy, who else? There's like so many people with that name on hand, but yeah, just like that title you kind of earned along the way just because of you helping everybody else up. I'm pretty sure that's stuck with you for quite some time, hasn't it? Like, just be able to...
Oh, yeah. Everybody still calls me Mama Babo, and I'm like, that's me. Come on.
Oh, there you go, on hand.
I'll take care of you, baby.
So, allow me to throw a curveball your way, and that curveball will be anime. That'll be a curveball. So, there's a three-part question to this, but first question I want to ask is, when I say anime, what's the first series that comes into your mind?
Dragon Ball Z, because it's my all-time favorite.
Same here. That's how I got into anime. I got an anime from...
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, I was in my backyard as a kid, like, trying to power up, being like, ah! And I was like, I'm gonna be like Goku, I swear. But it was like that and Sailor Moon. That's what got me into it.
Yeah, it was during that time with like Toonami at the time, and then like if you wait long enough or so, it was the golden age of Adult Swim where it went into like anime past it, like Outlaw Star, Tenchi Muyo, Yu Yu Hakusho, just like certain animes back then or so. It was great. Like I remember staying up all night just to watch that. Good times for that.
Inuyasha, all that. Do you remember Bobobo?
Yes, I do. I remember it.
That was my favorite. My dad's a pothead. He always has been. So when I was in high school, he'd be like, hey, we can watch your stupid anime if you like give me a massage or something. So we'd be walking on his back and he's just high as hell enjoying it. And we're like, what's it in? Bobobo!
To this day, like, I just remember it's one of those animes where I don't remember the plot at all. All I remember is like certain moments that had nothing to do with it at all. Just like
I don't think there really was a plot.
It seemed like there was, but it was covered up with so much stuff on hand. It's like, what exactly was it again?
I just wanted his nose hair whipped so bad. I thought that was like the coolest power to have.
Like, what a weird... it's kind of a weird power, too, because of the fact that it's like, you could just be standing there talking to somebody, they can say something insulting, and then out of nowhere, and nose hair just pops up and just smacks them in the face and disappears. Like, what did I just get hit by? What was that?
Yeah, do it again, I dare you. You want to see it happen again?
Good God. And when I also say anime, the second part of this question is, what is your kind of like, if you had like a top 3 or top 5 or so, what would be your favorite series that you can list on that?
I really enjoyed Goblin Slayer. I think that's like maybe number 2. Number 1 is Demon Slayer. I am so ready for season 2. I still haven't seen the movie yet, which is hurting my heart. But my daughter even likes Demon Slayer a lot. She wants to be Nezuko. And I think it's so sweet. What's another one? Obviously Sailor Moon. That's a classic I have to love forever. Heck. What's another? Oh, Samurai Champloo. That has to be.
Oh, that's a good one. I remember.
Oh, love. Oh, and Ouran Host Club. I've watched that since I was like 15. I rewatched it like 20 times. I cannot get enough of Tamaki.
Nice. I don't think I remember off the top of my head seeing it, but I think I know so much about it on hand. I feel like I do, but it's been a while since I've seen it. So, but yeah, that's a good one. Good one on hand.
Amazing.
So, last question I was going to ask you is, well, not last question, but the last question to the anime topic was, what is the anime that hits you close to home? Like, when you watch it, you just feel it so much. Just feel it on hand.
Oh. What is it? A Silent Voice? That one just makes me boo-hoo every time.
I remember. Yeah, that's a good one.
I think that's what it was called. Yeah.
Silent Voice. I remember that.
I remember watching. Yeah, I remember watching it with my sister, and we both were just sobbing so much. We were in like a puddle of just snot and tears, and we were like, "I love you. No, I love you too." It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really good one on hand. Like, I need to rewatch that now that I think about it, just because I just remember, like, I knew it was sad, but I just remember the plot to it on hand. But
well, I'm a crybaby. I cry at SpongeBob movies, so.
That shows you have a big heart. Big heart on hand. Which leads me to my last question here. As you can see, I have this camera in the center right here, but I can try to lift it up here so you can get this. But you don't have to move too. Now a second. Whoop. There we go. And then I'll put it right here for the center wise. But basically, what I was going to ask you is, what are your goals and dreams? And at best, what is the best advice you can ever give to anybody? I'm going to back up. I'm going to let you have center stage for this. So.
Oh, okay. I became a Twitch streamer not too long ago, and my community has been really sweet to me, and I really want to make them proud. I want to keep striving to like bring them more happiness. I know a lot of people come to my channel and they say that they really do feel comfortable and like at home there, and I want to keep thriving and giving that to people, and just making an impact. I want to be a positive impact. I want people to think BaboCloud, that's somebody that I can go to and just instantly feel better, And yeah, that's it.
I was gonna say, you don't have any advice on hand you want to pass along to everybody? Something that you've learned?
Advice. Don't let people try to bring you down. Like, I know at first, when I first started streaming, it was when people would be like, because I was not a VTuber at first. I did IRL streams. And like, I am working on my appearance. I have been working out. I know if anybody follows me on Twitter, I do talk about it. But there was so many times that people would be like, you're fat, you're ugly, get off stream. Nobody wants to watch a fat, ugly girl. Don't let people tear you down. They're literally just being trolls because they have no love in their heart whatsoever, and they want to just feel better by making others feel worse. So don't let that get under your skin. I know it's really hard. And I don't know, just be yourself. That's all you can be. And people are gonna love that. And if they don't, then you don't deserve their attention anyway. They need to go elsewhere. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sound advice. Sound good advice on hand here. Let me just get this. Oops, if I can. It's hard. It's because I gotta get used to these. I gotta get used to this no matter what.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Yeah, I'll get it on hand. But yeah, I will say too on hand for those who came in or so. Do you have any questions for Babo here that you would like to ask her? I know for a fact that Zodiac Sector 5 want to say hello to you, and they say they miss you. So.
Oh, I miss you too. I love you.
I believe they're still here, but does anybody have any questions for Babo here?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one from Senpai, basically asking, where did you get bouquet from? Just that phrase.
Oh man, all right. Bouquet. Listen, all right. So I am a big Game Grumps fan, and there was I forget what game they're playing, but Dan was telling a story about when he went to CVS and there was like a crackhead that busted in and was like, "Hey yo, where the pussy products at?" And they said, "Aisle 6," and she goes, "Okay," and just runs off. I thought that was hilarious, so I was like, "I'm taking it," and it just stuck. I don't know. I say it literally every day of my life.
And the thing is, too, like, immediately I thought it was your own quote. I actually thought it was your own quote for the longest time. I didn't know it came from Game Grumps. I didn't know it came from Game Grumps until a friend of mine, Omega, told me it came from Game Grumps. Because I actually thought he was saying that quote from you. Like, I thought he adopted it from you. Just because, from how it sounded for the most part. But yeah, I didn't realize on him. Speaking of which...
I have a lot of people that say that they use that in their language now because I say it a lot.
Hey, that shows how much influence you have. Like, when you have something that sticks with you or so, people are going to be saying it too, for the most part. Even if it came from someone else on hand, at least it's revived where basically they think it's from you. So, well, that's a good thing for the most part.
I just think it's hilarious.
I do have a question while I'm waiting for everybody else on hand. That's basically, when you basically change your avatar up or so from being a shark to a bat, why did you choose, for OC-wise, why did you choose a bat for it, like a fruit bat?
Well, at the time, there wasn't a lot of Batgirl avatars. I was striving to be a bit more unique because, you know, there was fox girls, there's cat girls, there was a few puppy dogs, there was all these other, like, a bunch of sharks that time, too. I was like, frick, I'm not original anymore. But I did want to say pink. And I worked with Doji.
Yeah.
She was the one who originally did my design, and then from there I went to Genomu and she created this from scratch. But yeah, that was I was like, I want to be pink, I want to be fluffy, and I don't want big boobies. I want to be short, and this is what we got, and I think it's just amazing.
Yeah, there you go. There you go on hand. And it stuck with you for the most part. Stuck with you for the longest run on hand for what you could do, as well as just basically, it becomes a part of you too. Like, trust me, the personality will always match the character of what you want to be or so. Even if when it just, like, no matter what it is or so, it just, like, that's what people think of. So that's the key thing.
Yeah.
Key thing on hand here. So,
Oops, excuse me.
Yeah, y'all good. Y'all good. And that right there is an interview burp on hand for you guys. There you go. And
yeah, that was a free one.
Senpai also has a question asking, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
South Korea, specifically Jeju Island, because it looks very beautiful. I love Korean culture. I think it would be amazing to go and have, like, traditional soju with, like, a bunch of, like, people from there. I do know a little bit of Korean. I just feel like it would be such an amazing experience. Like, I've never been out of the country either. And from what I can see in pictures and stuff from Korea, and I've also had friends in Korea who are like, yes, it's gorgeous here. It does get very cold in the winter, but I ain't trying to go over there. Yeah, South Korea would be lit. If not that, at least Hawaii.
Hawaii's good. Yeah.
Somewhere that I want to go and get a tan.
Yeah, somewhere where basically you can just take in, like, the beach side on hand, just basically just take in, like, you know, the scenery of everything. Especially be it, like, South Korea, like, sunsets, or just, like, Hawaiian sunsets. Those are, like, magnificent. Just the aesthetic to it, just to see it. Okay. Merc's Revenge asks, if you got to be in a Hawaiian... not Hawaiian, why did I say Hawaiian? If you got to be in a horror movie franchise, which one would you be?
Oh. Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity.
I think it would be so funny to see me like maybe possessed, you know, and like acting all creepy and head twerking and stuff. I used to do like I was in theater a lot, so I did when I was growing up. I wanted to be an actress, but I kind of gave up on that because I'm sure I'm not the skinniest and I have a lot of tattoos. But if I could be in a horror movie, which I think I would fit in perfect, like Paranormal Activity stuff, that would be amazing.
I got you. I got you on hand. And I will say, too, from a Crazy Hatter, he asked, if you could live in any anime world, which world would you pick? Any anime world.
Oh, man. Yeah, I would have to say Demon Slayer. I would want to be like in Yosuke and just be feral and beat shit up.
Yeah, there you go.
And everything looks gorgeous in that anime too. Like, it's based back in the days, you know.
Oh yeah,
well, ish.
The golden era.
Trains, but
kind of golden era.
Yeah, but it's like that would be so cool. I don't know, just wearing the like kimonos and stuff too. Oh, amazing.
Definitely very amazing on him. At least if you think about it too.
And then also beat people up.
Just beat people up. I was gonna say, if you want something like that or so, I would recommend watching like Genshin Tama, because it's got your comedy, it's got basically that era on hand, like that feudal era on hand, especially for like if you like Komodos or just basically see something a little bit crazy on hand. Like it's perfect if you want to see it. But I have one question too that's from me, and I was wondering, you mentioned you have tattoos on hand, and I know for a fact you have like a bunch of tattoos, but I was asking if there was one tattoo on you that is very symbolic to you, like when you look at it, you know the meaning of it, that reminds you anywhere you go. What would it be?
I have a big, like, cuckoo clock, like old-timey cuckoo clock from like here to here on my thigh. I got it like 2 months after I had my daughter. And it's symbolic because there's so much detail. Like, if you just look at it, it looks like a regular clock. But if you're actually looking, there's little woodland creatures, there's mushrooms, leaves, it's got everything. The clock is stuck at 4:20. Hello. And it's especially because after I had my daughter, I never knew how fast life went by. So you need to, like, just take a step back and, you know, take in all the beauty, even the small things, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely on hand. As pretty much as the two tattoos on my wrist have said, breathe easily, live freely.
I have on this arm, it says live without fear. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't even have anything like fancy with it. It's just basically tattooed on both of my wrists right here. That way I could just remind myself anywhere I go. And plus, it's also one of those things that helps out. Just remind me, even when things get overwhelming, just take it one step at a time. No matter how good or bad it gets, take one step at a time.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Definitely. And...
Oh, speaking of tattoos, before this next question, sure. I have a tattoo for my old OC. I have the shark right here. It's pink and purple. And then I have the bat right here. It's pink and purple as well.
Hey.
If I get another OC, which I don't want to, but if it ever does happen, I would probably get it tattooed on me as well, because this is a huge part of my life. I don't think I'll ever forget this experience, you know?
Yeah, I can assure you, you will never ever forget the experience, especially for the amount of friends you make along the way and the memories of those that you're always going to have anywhere you go. And plus too, when time comes by or so, no matter how technological like VR is going to get or so, I'm pretty sure, who knows, you might introduce your daughter to the world that you see here and there once they get old enough to see it. Just to be able to see.
Oh yeah, I've had her in VRChat, but it's in a private world with very close friends, so she's not exposed to nastiness because she is only 9. But she plays Roblox in VR and she loves it.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Right in his own hand. I will say, right off the back, I got 2 questions here, but I will ask for Senpai. Would you rather 30 butterflies instantly appear from nowhere every time you sneeze, or one very angry squirrel appears from nowhere every time you cough? Senpai Supreme.
Yeah, that's definitely a Senpai question. I would want the butterflies, because I sneeze aggressively and people are always concerned. So if I had butterflies come out, everybody would be like, wow, that's amazing. That's beautiful. Good job.
have like a very bloody nose on hand. Like, I'm pretty sure when they think you squeezing aggressively, they assume you have like a bloody nose from it, just because of how like aggressive it is, depending on how big it is.
Yeah.
So, but hey, at least it'll look colorful on hand. Then again, I'm pretty sure it'll be hard for you to do what you gotta do streaming wise, especially when you sneeze once and then basically there's like butterflies everywhere. It's like, damn it.
Just give me 1 minute, guys. It's gotta clear out.
I gotta open a window really quickly. Give me a second. All right. From Arc Banana, in your experience, what are your most negative experience of being a VTuber, positive, and what would you change, if anything, about the VR VTubing community? That's kind of a bold stretch on hand, considering the fact that's like there's so much with the whole VTubing community, because there's like other communities out there within the VTubing community. Some places we don't even know about here, especially like language barriers and just like interesting, like from YouTube, Twitch, anywhere else. So, but
yeah,
I will say, what would be pretty much like, I guess, negative and positives for the most part as being a VTuber for you?
Positive for me is I don't have to worry if I have like a breakout or anything before getting on stream, making sure to cover that up. I can just be completely comfortable and play the game. I don't have to worry about my outfit or my appearance, which is amazing. Negative, just because somebody is not a big VTuber does not give you the permission to tell them they are not going to make it as a VTuber and just to give up. Just because they're not in Live or whatever. I had this happen to me the other day. He told me that I was fucking stupid and I should give up. I'll never make it. And, you know, it hurt at first, but I'm like, you don't even know me. You don't need, like, it's just idiotic. Don't bring people down just because they're trying something new.
Yeah,
but for the most part, it's pretty positive. You just have those handfuls of assholes who are like very much up, like the Japanese VTubing community, and they're like, oh, well, you're an English VTuber and you only have so and so followers and you're not in this group, you're trash.
Yeah, I hate the eliteness of that. That's the thing too. I will point out is that within VTubing community, there's always going to be like these elitists that basically, like, if you don't fall underneath this kind of trend category, where basically if you're not like this or this, they basically assume that you ain't going to do anything at all, when it just shows you how like narrow-minded people can be when it comes to like how people...
It's irritating.
It is. I will say, from Penta Head, what is your favorite part of being a mom?
Hi, Penta! Hi, Mom! I love you! My favorite thing about being a mom is I was always afraid of being alone, and now I know I'm never going to be alone. I always have my best friend with me. It's just so rewarding to think back from when I was 5 minutes before I had my daughter. I was so scared, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a mom. Just undo it. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to be a good mom. And then she came out, and it all came to me very naturally. And just every day has been like amazing. She's so smart and she's so sweet. She doesn't know like race, hatred, or religion, or like sexuality. She doesn't know all that. She just loves people. She's the sweetest thing. And I think that's pretty rewarding. Yeah,
brings that inner peace with you. The fact that basically you're watching as somebody who's your very best friend is growing up right in front of your eyes, and also too, you're nurturing and just being that supportive mom for her every step of the way.
Yeah, for sure. She was cuddling with me before I did this, and she was like, so how long is it gonna take? Can I come talk to them too?
Wants to get to know everybody.
Baby Bobo.
Baby.
Yeah.
Baby
no,
Bobo.
It's really cute because before I stream, she always says, tell stream I said hi. So cute.
There you go. Such a gentle being. Gentle being on hand. From Mistress Mercury, what advice would you give to a VTuber starting out?
Don't get discouraged. Just keep on trucking, because it's hard at first. It really is, but it's such a loving community when you get down to it. Like, we all just want to help each other out and like play things and just have a lot of fun, for what I've experienced at least. But yeah, you definitely need to be yourself. If you're gonna try to force this like weird personality, it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel very fake, and like even though I'm a character, I'm still me.
Yeah. You're basically you. You're real, and just
Yeah.
And well, not only that, or so it's like the further you get up, or so the more comfortable you're going to be, just because you didn't have to change anything just to get where you are. You're happy as what you are, so that makes it more comfortable, especially when you achieve the biggest goals in your life as streaming goes by and by. You know.
Oh yeah, and since becoming a VTuber, my Twitch viewership has gone up, and I've gotten more regulars in chat. And it's really nice. It's a very welcoming community if you really, really put in the effort.
Definitely on hand. I don't see any more questions for right now. So I will say for right now or so, that will be episode 41 of Shoot the Breeze. So thank you guys very much.